All right, welcome back to the Arsenal podcast with me, Kosi. Arsenal transfer talk part 2, part 1. I talked about Luis Suarez joining Arsenal, and what else did we talk about? So many other things anyway. Tomorrow we have that Community Shield game against Liverpool. Probably we can win it. Probably we will lose it. But for me, it doesn't mean much. I'm still focusing on the transfer window because that is what has to bail us out. And right now I'm going to be talking about how Aouar. Yeah, I told you yesterday that as soon as Liga uploads the Fabrizio Romano interview, I'm going to come here, we'll break it down and talk about Aouar, because that is the man he has been talking about, mostly, linked with Arsenal in the past 2-3 weeks. Now, Aouar was interviewed yesterday by L'Equipe, that is sport in France, asked about his future. He was asked a couple of questions, and his answer was really interesting and really professional. I loved it. It's not like these England players who just mumble around with words. They ask him about a transfer, and he speaks whatever he wants. He was very professional. He was asked, where do you think you're going to play next season? And he told them something very interesting. He said, I haven't left Lyon. And they also asked him, would you want to leave, what would it be to leave Lyon, without the fans, in a season without fans in the pitch? And he said, I haven't left Lyon. He was also asked, would you consider moving out of Lyon ahead of the 2021 Euro competition, where you're at Lyon and you have high chances of being invited or called up for France? And he said, still, I haven't left Lyon, so I still consider Lyon as my home. I want us to beat Dijon, because they'll be opening up with Dijon, that is in the French league. So his interview was quite very professional, and I loved it. So Arsenal fans, you don't have any reason to celebrate because of his interview, but this is the reason as to why you have to celebrate, because of Fabrizio Romano's interview. This is what he had to say. Now, yesterday, Liga was interviewing him, and it was quite interesting. I watched the interview and I still want to watch it again. He said Thomas Partey is 45 million pounds. It is hard for Arsenal to get 45 million pounds without selling players. And he said Aouar could be very difficult because he's 60-70 million pounds, but the Arsenal board is in love with the player and they want to try. So Arsenal is set to make a bid, for the player. Actually, it will be our second bid. You remember that last week we went in with a bid, cash plus Matteo Guendouzi, and it was rejected. I don't know why we are always, going in with bids with players. I think at Atletico Madrid. Who did we take to Atletico Madrid? Let me remember. Who did we take to Atletico? Did we take Lacazette? I think, and the bid was rejected. We took Guendouzi to Barcelona for Coutinho. It was rejected. We also took Guendouzi to Lyon for Aouar, and it was rejected. Now, last week, it is true, a bid from Arsenal was taken in to Lyon, but it was rejected. It had cash plus Matteo Guendouzi. Lyon are saying, if you want to get Aouar, he's a top quality player. You guys love him. Everybody loves him around Europe. You and Juventus are really in the race to sign him. Bring in cash, don't bring in another player. Arsenal are saying, how about we give you, we do a swap deal. Lyon are saying, we want money. And guys, how Lyon and Dortmund do their transfers. They do straight cash. Those are the two clubs I know. They sell when they want to sell, and when they don't want to sell, they don't sell. They sell when the time is right to sell. When the time is not right to sell, they don't sell. And it is the same situation. The Lyon president has already said, he said some players, some players are gonna be getting out. They're gonna be, moving to another, world out of Lyon. Quite perfect. And Arsenal were very, happy because the president said that, and they went in with Matteo Guendouzi. We were bounced back. We were bounced boys. So we have to go, we have to go in for another bid. And according to Fabrizio Romano, he says Arteta, Edu and the board are very much interested in the services of the player Aouar, and they are ready to make a second bid that could actually be around 62 million pounds. Remember, the player is rated at around 780. Now, if you go in with the 62 million pounds, it gives you chances because you have formally formally contacted the club, and I think this is one of the best steps I think we are taking in this deal. One, we are going to formally attempt the deal by going in with the second bid, because I think the first bid was trash, so I don't count it. It doesn't count. Now, going in with 62 million pounds, it means of course the bid will be rejected, it will be bounced, because Lyon would be looking at 70 or 75 million pounds, because they're looking at the market. It has gone wild. Kai Havertz has signed for Chelsea for 100 million. I told you, whenever I say that, I get disgusted, really disgusted. But anyway, I have nothing to say. I have nothing to do about that. Now, let us take it in this scenario that we go with 62 million pounds and Lyon reject it. That means if we go with 3 more million to 65 million pounds, we can get the player, and that's why that's what I'm looking at. Let us go with the 62 million pounds, because we have bought Pepe at 72. We can, you can't tell me that we can fail to get Aouar at 60. Seriously, because that midfield is really empty. So that is the update around Houssem Aouar. Arsenal are preparing a 62 million pound bid, second bid for the player, for the Lyon international. Of course, his agent said the player or my client is gonna decide next season. He's gonna decide next season, to move. Sorry, not next season. Sorry, next month, because this month he has really had a lot. Champions League, transfer rumors. So he says, let my player rest, let my client rest. Let us decide on all that in the next month, September. And of course, it's not far. Today is the 28th. If I'm getting the facts right, 28th of August. We just have 2 days. 2 damn days, and then we are in September, where all of us expect transfers to go wild. Of course, I don't expect clubs like Chelsea to buy more players. They have already bought a squad, a full squad. They have bought some players, and now they are starting to loan some of the new deals out. I can't really imagine. But anyway, so that is the Houssem Aouar. What do you think, guys? Do you think we are in position to sign him? Some of you are saying we are not in position to sign Aouar, but you never had good reasons. You just around making false statements that Arsenal doesn't have money. We are both Pepe at 72 million. What are you saying, guys? 60 million is no money when we have spent 70 before. Remember, we first bought Ozil at 40. We bought Lacazette at 50. We bought Aubameyang at 60. Now we brought in Pepe at 70. Probably we can even bring in an 80 million player, blood. You never know. You never know what's going to happen. Anyway, so that's the deal. That's the deal. We are still waiting. When next week, we must be taking in that second bid to Lyon. That is the first point. Second point is that the player has to decide next month. So I don't know whether it's going to choose Juventus, but I doubt Juventus are going to really spend 70 million pounds. Who are they going to sell? Because Juventus, they have some money. I don't want to undermine them. They have some money, but they have to sell someone. And they have Paulo Dybala in the same place where Houssem Aouar plays. Now, unless they are telling us they are going to offload Dybala, but if they are not going to offload Dybala, there is no way they are going to accommodate Houssem Aouar. They're just wasting our time. And whenever I think about this deal, I ignore them because they're just wasting our time. So 4 points to note. 4 points to note out of this deal. One, Fabrizio Romano says Arsenal board is really in love with the player. That gives us a very big way forward. And of course, the player says, I haven't left Lyon. I'm still a Lyon player. Of course, that's quite professional, blood. Thank you so much. I just love it when players get professional. The third point is we are making a second bid, next week. And of course, the fourth point is obviously our first bid was rejected by Lyon. Now, because the fifth thing is that Lyon are willing to sell. Lyon are really willing to sell. So, guys, what do you think about that deal? Get in the comments, smash up the likes. Tell me what you think about Houssem Aouar joining Arsenal. 60-70 million pounds. For me, it would be the deal of the summer for Arsenal. It would be. Until next time, I'll either come with a Late Gunners show, but of course we did the preview, so I don't need to come back. We did the preview. We have done most of the transfers. You know, I know you would want to hear something about Partey, but I'll talk about that tomorrow in the morning in the early transfer paper talk. You want to hear about something like Aubameyang and Gabriel Magalhaes. There is nothing I know. We are not yet announced. You know, we have not yet announced them. Fabrizio Romano made a tweet on the 27th, and he said we might announce them this week, but of course I ignored it. You know, on purpose. What else can we talk about? Maybe tomorrow. I'll be coming back tomorrow because right now I think I've exhausted what we have to cover in the day. Goodbye.